These are the AirPods Pro 2 second generation. And what that means is they have the USB-C connection on the bottom along with MagSafe charging. So you can just put them out on a wireless charger and you can get a charge. They've also got the speaker down here so you can use the Find My network to find your AirPods Pro along with the case. And they have a lanyard hook here. Those are the things that kind of make them different so you can kind of spot it. But I decided to purchase these because I wanted to find out just how good the noise cancellation is. I've heard a lot about it on different podcasts. Different people talk about it. Oh, I love my AirPods Pro. I love my AirPods Pro. They're the best, right? I was like, what's going on with that, right? Because I actually use these. These are the Technics EAH-AZ60s. It's kind of a long name, but I really like these particular AirPods, or earbuds rather, because they have active noise cancellation. They've got wireless charging. They've got USB-C. And so honestly, I reviewed these and I haven't had a reason to not use them, right? And so I was like, whatever. But the AirPods Pro were on sale, so I decided to pick them up and find out what all the fuss was about. And one of the first things I noticed was just how quickly these connect to my phone or whatever it was I was listening to right after I put them in my ear. They connect probably a second, maybe 2 seconds quicker than these do on Bluetooth. So that was one of the first things I noticed. I was like, that's kind of cool. Now, the next thing I noticed was just with any Apple product, once you connect them once to, let's say, your phone, they pretty much automatically are now connected to your iPad, your Mac, whatever it is that you have. So you don't have to go through and repair them. And so that's also a nice feature. Those are two features I think of that kind of only Apple can do: a very fast connection and make them connected to everything in your iCloud account. Now, the next thing I noticed was the noise cancellation. This is truly the best noise cancellation that I have heard in a pair of earbuds. Let's say you've got a fan running, or it's winter now, you turn on a little space heater and so you can hear the air blowing. You put these things in your ear and all of a sudden you don't hear that noise anymore. All you hear is either nothing if you have nothing playing, or you hear the music that you just want to listen to, or even your favorite podcast. Another feature is transparency mode, and that uses the outside microphone to pipe the noise around you in, so you don't necessarily have to take out the AirPod just to hear what's going on around you. Now, personally, I don't really like transparency mode. I don't even use it on the AZ60 just because I just don't like the way it sounds. But that brings us on to the newest feature of these AirPods Pros, and that's called adaptive audio. And what that is it's basically Apple dynamically trying to figure out what you want to hear. It's got noise control on, but it's also got transparency mode. So it's kind of removing the noise you don't want to hear, like the vacuum running or that fan that I was talking about, or even chit chat around you. But the things that you necessarily need to hear kind of going on around you, it can do it, right? And I've tried it. I don't really love it personally because I don't really like transparency mode by itself. I'd rather have noise cancellation or nothing personally, but it does work. Another new feature is conversation awareness, and this is actually a pretty cool feature. So you're listening to your music, you've got the noise cancellation on. Well, once you start having a conversation with somebody, the music dynamically lowers so that you can have the conversation and talk to that person. And then once you finish with that conversation after a few seconds, it comes back up and you can continue on with your music and just sort of how you had your setup. It's really cool. It basically prevents you from having to pull the earbud out. Now, me personally, I guess I'm a little bit old school. I go ahead and I pull it out so people know that I'm paying them attention, but you can use conversational awareness if you want heard. These also have other features like spatial audio support, so it can make things sound like they're coming from in front of you, on top of you, behind you, that sort of thing. And that's kind of nice, especially when you're watching movies and stuff like that. They have dynamic head tracking, which I don't like as much, but I'll talk about it here. If you have, let's say, your phone or your tablet in front of you and you're watching everything there right in front of you. Well, if you turn your head, it moves the sound to your ear that is closest to the tablet. So things still sound like they're coming from that direction. Now, me personally, maybe I'm old, but I feel like when I turn my head and I have earphones in or headphones in, or I'm wearing headphones rather, everything moves with me and not, locked there in that particular space. So I turn that feature off, but I do think it's nice to have. Moving on to controls really quickly. Both the left and right AirPod have a flat spot on the stem. This flat spot is touch sensitive, and this allows you to tap it and you can pause or play your music. You can answer or end a call. You can skip forward, skip back, depending on how many times you tap that stem. And you can also take your finger and slide down the stem. That decreases the volume, or if you slide up, that increases the volume. And I like it because those commands work for either one of the AirPods. All right, obviously you can take phone calls on the AirPods Pro. All you got to do is tap the stem, or you can, slide or hit the button or whatever on your phone and you can begin talking. But that brings up the call quality. Which one is better? Is it the iPhone's call quality itself, or is it the AirPods? Well, I did a call quality test and we're going to listen to those in a second, but quite frankly, it's still going to be better when you hold it up like this because the microphone's closer to your mouth, and I think there's a little bit better microphones than in here. But the AirPods Pro do sound good. Do they sound better than the AZ60s? Well, you'll find out right now. This is a call inside on the iPhone. This is a call inside on the AirPods Pro 2nd Gen. This is a call inside on the Technics AZ60s. This is a call outside on the iPhone. This is a call outside on the AirPods Pro 2nd Gen. This is a call outside on the Technics AZ60. Okay, so which one did you prefer? The AirPods Pro or the AZ60? Drop a comment in the comment section below with your choice and why. Moving on to sound quality. I was pleasantly surprised that these AirPods sound as good as they do. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I love my AirPods Pro. They're so great. They sound so great. And quite frankly, I kind of didn't believe them because out of the box, a lot of earbuds, quite frankly, I don't think they sound great out of the box. I think you need to EQ them a little bit. And Apple's kind of known for not really giving you a whole lot of controls around things. So I honestly didn't expect much. But I can say that these actually sound pretty good right out of the box. I mean, they give you the adaptive EQ and stuff like that, but Apple controls the experience. So I started listening to a lot of different songs, including You Love Me by Karen Clark Sheard. That's a song with her and her daughter singing a gospel song with a live band and an audience. So it gives you a lot of different sort of sounds that you can listen for. And what I found when listening to that song was I could hear the drummer tapping the hi-hat, and it actually sounded pretty clean. Was it the best treble I'd ever heard? No, but it did sound decent for an earbud. And I also like the fact that it does a decent job recreating the soundstage. You can tell that Karen and her daughter are just a little bit apart from one another when they're singing. You can hear that the band is in a slightly different place and the crowd is in a slightly different place when they're making noise. So I think they've done a good job with this. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good for a pair of earbuds. The next song I tried is called Chocolate Chip Trip by Tool. It's an interesting song that has a lot of left to right panning and right to left panning with different instruments and even a bass drum that's pretty powerful about midway through the song. And with the left to right pans, that worked with these earbuds. It wasn't quite as big or quite as wide as you could get with a pair of nice floor standing speakers, but again, it works for a pair of earbuds. And you also get a little bit of depth to the stage as well. When moving on to the bass drum, the bass was nice and tight. It wasn't as deep as I've heard on some other systems, but it was nice and tight and it sounded like a kick drum. The final song I want to talk about is Hotel California by the Eagles, live from the Forum. That particular track is, again, a live concert, and there's a ton of people in the audience, and I listened to about the first minute. That's all I really ever listened to. But the trumpeteers playing, and they're playing along, and you get to hear that sound of that trumpet. It sounds nice and clean on the AirPods Pro, and then the audience starts to scream, and different things start to happen, and they are placed, again, where they're supposed to be placed. And I will say this again, the AirPods Pro do not sound as good as a dedicated pair of floor standing speakers in 2-channel, but for AirPods, or earbuds rather, they do sound really good. Those little 11mm drivers are doing a lot of work. You get decent bass, you get decent mid-range, you get decent high-end, and they're actually pretty fun to listen to. So, are the AirPods Pro for everybody? The short answer is no. Not everybody wants to spend $250 on earbuds, or they don't want white earbuds hanging out of their ears, or just whatever your reason is. That's okay. But I can see why a lot of people like them, because they are a pretty, I would say, complete package in that you've got the USB-C charging, you've got MagSafe charging, you get decent battery life. You get 4 different ear tips, so you can find the one that fits you, and it has really good noise cancellation. As far as the call quality is concerned, it's actually pretty good, as you heard, and the sound is actually pretty good. Again, you can get better sound from different earbuds, maybe more high end, maybe more bass detail, whatever you're looking for there, but these are pretty good all around, and that is what I think, or that is why I should say, a lot of people like these earbuds. So I've tried them. They're actually pretty good. Am I going to make them my main headphones or my main earbuds? I don't know. I still like my Techniques, I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm probably going to switch between the two, to be honest. Overall, I'll probably listen to these sometimes, and sometimes I'll be listening to my Techniques, just to kind of depending on what's going on. But if you have any questions about these, or you just want to say hey in the comment section, drop me a comment in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.